Hi, my name is Zach French. I'm here to talk to you guys about the exposure triangle. What the exposure triangle is, it's a formula that we use for photography when taking pictures or use for video. What it is, it's a triangle, and they all affect one another. The three parts of the triangle is ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. I'm going to talk to you guys about those three things and what they do and what they affect. I'm going to start with shutter speed. Shutter speed is the speed of which, when you take a picture, you click on the button to take the picture, the camera opens it up, so the sensor reads what the lens is telling it. It opens up and then it closes. And the longer it's opened up, the more light comes in, which makes the picture brighter. And then the faster it closes, the darker it will get, because not enough time is being brought into the sensor to give its light. So that can affect in two different ways. One way is that it can, when you're taking a picture, it could be blurry if you do it slow. If you have the shutter speed set to a slow time. But the positive side is that if you're in a dark room, it could be brighter. It'll help the picture be brighter, but you might get blurriness. And then for a fast shutter speed is when you want to like an action shot, like playing sports or something, is when you would want a fast shutter speed. What the positives of fast shutter speed is what I just said. Fast motion, you can capture it and it won't be blurry, but that lets less time for the light to get into the sensor, so your pictures may be darker. Number two, aperture. Aperture you can think of like our own eyes. When it's bright out, our pupil gets really small, so it closes up. Just like in a camera lens, it has an eye too. It closes up, lets in less light. So if you're in a bright area and your picture's too bright, you just close it down and it'll make it darker. And then if you're in a dark area, open it up, make it open up more, and it'll make things a lot brighter. And it will also use a special effect called depth of field. It's that blurriness that you get from in the background, just like what you're seeing right now. I have my camera lens opened up as wide as it can go, so then everything behind me that's not in focus is all blurry, and it's called bokeh. It's something that a lot of people like in photography. Then number three, of the third triangle, is called ISO. ISO is like your last default that you want to use before you take a picture. ISO lets the light be more sensitive to the camera. So from default, ISO is usually set at 200, which is the lowest you can go. So that's like a good what you want to do when you're outside. But if you're inside, it's harder. There's less light, so you want to bump up your ISO. But you don't want to bump up too high, because then you'll have a lot of digital noise, is what they call it. It's kind of like a little pixelated almost look. So for ISO, you typically want to keep as low as possible, so you can get a nice clean picture. But if you already have a really slow shutter speed and your lenses open up all the way, but the picture is still dark, you should probably bump up the ISO. So I talked to you guys about three things in the exposure triangle: the ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. Once you learn those three things and they can compensate each other and what you need for that picture, then you're all set to go and you'll be a great photographer. Thanks for listening.